Let's firstly then have a think about journal selection. Have a think now as to what you hope to achieve when you publish your work. What are your goals as a researcher when looking to publish? Now, many researchers say to me when I ask this question, Harry, I want to create an impact. Of course, that's why many researchers publish their work. It's so that they can influence their research field, establish their expertise and credibility as a researcher, perhaps even have an impact on wider society, such as through medical practice. That's what often we want to accomplish through publishing our work. Well, how do we go about ensuring that we're going to do so? Well, one thing that we do need to take into mind that impact factor of a journal doesn't necessarily equate to you creating an impact within your field. So today we're going to look at other considerations beyond impact factor to take into account when evaluating the suitability of a journal. After all, the impact you want to make is the impact that you make within your field. So some important questions that you need to ask yourself before publishing your work is, who are you trying to reach? Who is your target audience? Are you just trying to reach researchers in India, in Asia, or are you trying to reach a global audience? Are you just trying to reach researchers in your own specialism, your own field, your own subject area? Or perhaps you feel that your research may be suited, or maybe important for researchers outside of your field. Perhaps you also want your work to reach other audiences, those that work in industry, those who work in policy making, educators, perhaps patients receiving a certain treatment may benefit from reading your paper. So this is one important consideration before deciding upon which journal you're going to publish in. After all, the journal here is really like a bridge, right? It connects you and your authors with your readers. We need to be really careful here what bridge we are choosing to connect with our readers. You only get to choose one bridge after all. Well, it's good that we're here today then to briefly discuss how to go about choosing your bridge. Now, today I'm going to provide you with a evidence-based strategy to help you decide what journal will be most suitable for your manuscript in order for you to create your own desired impact through publishing. Okay. Well, firstly, we're going to go about generating a journal shortlist. This will be a list, very simply, of potential journals for our manuscript. Just potential. Once we have our list of potential journals, at this point we can then go ahead and consider more carefully how we go about evaluating these journals on our shortlist to determine which of the journals on our shortlist is most suitable and perhaps those that are less suitable. So there we go, simple, right? Well, how do we actually go about generating our journal shortlist? What do you think? Have a think now. How do you go about finding journals yourself? What strategies do you use when finding potential journals for your shortlist? Have a think for a moment. Now, 4 key strategies I have for you today. hopefully will help you generate your journal shortlist. Some of you may be using some of these already now that you've had a think. Well, firstly, very simple, but this requires significant time and effort, your own reading. Try to spend time, if you can, every single day reading papers in various different journals from various different publishers. Of course, the best way to establish the quality of a journal, the quality of a paper, is to read it yourself. What do you think of that paper? Are there ways that you would improve it? Do you feel that this journal is suitable for your paper, given the areas of research, the types of study that it commonly publishes? You can learn a vast amount of information just through your own reading. So yes, that's why I do recommend devoting your own time to reading. But also, make this a shared process with your colleagues. Make sure that you're talking to your colleagues, your more senior colleagues, perhaps those colleagues which are more junior than you. Do they have any journals that they would recommend for your manuscript based on their own reading, their own experiences? Remember, some of your colleagues may have had really good experiences of working with certain journals, but some of them actually may have had some bad experiences. Okay. We also want to be sure to look at databases, those conventional databases we commonly come across, Web of Science, Medline, Scopus, etc. If you go onto these databases, these indexes, you'll be able to conduct keyword searches. You can search for a keyword related to your own study. Therefore, that database will provide a list of matching suitable journals that you may want to put onto your shortlist. But also we can use various online tools to help our journal selection strategy. What tools can we look at? Well, I have these publisher independent tools that you may want to rely upon. For example, Journal Guide, the open access journal finder from Enargo, or the journal selector from Edance. How do these work? Really simply. All that you have to do is paste in your manuscript title or manuscript abstract. Once you've done so, you'll be provided with a list of matching journals based upon the keywords in those sections. This is a really, really quick way for you to generate your journal shortlist. So use these online tools. One of the advantages of these tools is that they will allow you to, in an instant, compare journals from different publishers. So now that you have a list, you have a journal shortlist, depending upon your field, your list now may be between 12 and 15 journals, perhaps. What next? Well, it's all very useful having this shortlist, but now we need to look at our shortlist in detail. We need to carefully evaluate all of our potential journals. Make sure you do this with your co-authors. It's very important that all of the co-authors of your paper agree with the journal that you are going to submit to. Of course, also, having other people involved in this process helps reduce any bias during the assessment process. Whilst we're carefully evaluating all of the journals on our shortlist, we can do one of three actions. If you feel that the evaluation has been positive, elevate its position on the shortlist. If actually you feel that the evaluation has been negative, feel free to downgrade its position on the shortlist. But if actually you feel that the journal's not at all suited, you can feel free to remove it from the shortlist. Once we've done all of these evaluations, the best options should be listed first. Easy. But how are we going to go about evaluating our journals? Well, today I have for you 5 key criteria